We are talking more real estate stats, and Columbus has been gaining the last couple of weeks. Are they still gaining, or are we losing? Keep on watching. Hey, what's up? It's Riggs here, a realtor with Coldwell Banker King Thompson, bringing you all things real estate here in Central Ohio. Welcome to my channel. As we do every week here, the last several weeks, we are talking real estate stats here in Columbus, Ohio. And so we are going to be comparing yet again 2 weeks, the most latest week with the previous week, to see what has been the trends, what is happening in the real estate space. Let's get started. All right, for my folks who are just seeing a video like this for the first time, just want to recap. All the data that we're pulling here is from the Columbus MLS or the Columbus Multiple Listing Service, and we look at 4 categories. We look at new listings on the market, we look at those listings or transactions in contract, we look at showing activity, and then we look at total closings. And if you stick to the end of this video, I have a bonus stat that we're going to look at for this week, so make sure you tune in to the end. All right, so the 2 weeks we're going to compare this week will be April 16th through April 23rd. And then our new week that we're comparing is April 23rd through April the 30th. Those are our 2 weeks. We're going to start with new listings. Okay, so for our week of April the 16th, we had 701 new listings on the market. And you may remember we had 42% of those new listings were in contract within the first 7 days. For our new week here, the week of April 23rd, we had 766 new listings on the market, and we had 37% of those new listings in contract within the first 7 days. So overall, you're going to see our number of new listings is higher within these 2 weeks, but the percentage of new listings in contract within those first several days is lower. Thought on that is it could be a number of things. I mean, it could really be homes are priced too high. And so think about this. If a home is priced too high and the comps don't support it, buyers still have power. I know I've said that before. Buyers aren't going to put a home in contract. It will sit longer on the market. So, I wonder if that's what's going on here. It can also be what I'm seeing in my market. There are some agents who are taking longer for the seller to make a decision on offers that are submitted. So let's say a home is listed today, they're taking 2, 3, 4 days to secure as many offers as possible before the seller will make a decision on a respective offer. So think about how that can impact your percentage here as well. Now, do I know specifically what's going on? No, I don't. I'm just giving you kind of my thoughts on what I'm personally seeing happening in the market, but I feel like one of those 2 things could totally be it. But nonetheless, new listings, the number of new listings between these 2 weeks is up for this week that we're comparing. Our next category we're going to look at are those transactions or those listings in contract. So for the week of April the 16th, there were 731 transactions in contract in that respective week. For our week here of April 23rd, there were 703 contracts. 703 transactions in contract for this respective week. So this number is down, and I'm not overly worried about that. I don't feel like it's a significant enough of a decrease to be concerned. The reality of what I'm seeing is, again, we are in a seller's market, and the data is still holding true for that. And I know personally myself, working with buyer clients, it is challenging for buyers to get homes in contract right now. Like I've mentioned in my previous video, you have sellers and buyers back in the game doing their real estate activity. And so I could see this happening. More listings on the market. I would think maybe some of them are not as appealing, that are making buyers want to move as quickly, but I also think buyers are having to fight it out as well, which could be impacting the numbers. This is one I think we're going to keep watching and see how this trends, but not enough of a decrease for me to honestly be overly concerned. Okay, let's now look at showing activity for the week of April 16th. There were 1,209 showings, and remember, these are showings on Coldwell Banker listings only. For the week of April 23rd, there were 1,320 showings. And again, these are all exclusive to Coldwell Banker listings. So this is up. And now for the last 2 weeks, the showing activity has been up, which has coincided with new listings on the market being up as well. This is obviously a positive that buyers are out looking at homes. Sellers are putting homes on the market. It is a positive thing for the real estate market. So this is another really good one to see that is on the increase. Very excited about this one. All right, the last category we're going to look at is closing activity in these respective weeks. So for the week of April the 16th, we had 563 closings for that respective 7-day period. For the week of April 23rd, we had 752 total closings in that respective time frame. This is another big gain, and I do love to see this. You guys may recall in my previous video, I talked about how lending guidelines have changed, which has truly impacted some buyers from being unable to be able to close ultimately on the transaction, given all things that are happening with lending guidelines due to COVID-19. So to see this number making some great gains is awesome, again, for 2 reasons specifically. One, buyers are able to still get financing and take advantage of the lower interest rates, and they're able to get things in contract, which is a celebration of its own, but it's also showing that lenders are still lending and they're closing what we think is on time. From what I've been looking at, lenders are still closing within about 30 days. And if you understand what's happening, a lot is going on in the refinance space for existing homeowners, which is really pulling on the resources of lenders. So from where I sit, really great to see big gains here because things are still moving through the transaction timeline timely. All right, so I told you if you stuck to the end of this video, I would give you some bonus insight on another area that a couple of you have been reaching out wanting me to cover. And so we're going to talk interest rates. Now, if you're following anything in the real estate space, you know right now that interest rates are at a historic low. And the reality is not everyone's going to be able to take advantage of the historically low interest rates, but a lot of buyers are. Now, you've got new buyers taking advantage and you have existing homeowners taking advantage too through refinances. But we are still honestly at historic lows for interest rates. I found an article from the National Association of Realtors, or NAR, that talks about how interest rates are at an all-time low. And like I've mentioned, if you've been listening to the news, watching this, you know that already, and it's causing a lot of buyers who are new to really be able to take advantage of the lower interest rates, but it's allowing a lot of existing homeowners to be able to refinance and take advantage as well. Now, what I thought was cool was looking at the national averages for interest rates. You hear historic low, but I want you to see how low they are, which is really just unheard of. This does not happen. So check this out. For a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, and these are stats provided as of April 30th, okay? For a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, the average rate is 3.23%. A year ago, the average rate for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage was 4.14%. Now, looking at a 15-year fixed rate mortgage, the current average is about 2.77%. A year ago, that average rate was 3.60%. So I wanted to include that so that you can understand that things are still doing really well. How long will these rates stay low? I honestly don't know. I always joke with you guys and say if I knew, I would be a really popular girl, but I don't know. But the reality is folks are seeing the opportunity and taking advantage of the opportunity. So if you're in a space where you're looking to relocate to Columbus, move here in the near future, you want to start exploring that now because it's a wonderful time to get a lower rate if you can than waiting when things go back up when you missed out on that opportunity. Well, that's all I have for now. I want to thank you so much for watching. You stay fabulous and productive and well, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.